Hey, good afternoon. Summer League head coach and assistant coach, Ben Sullivan. Questions for Coach?
So last year during Summer League, for some of the guys that were projected to make the roster, they talked about certain goals that, they had for, whether it was Romeo or some of the other guys that were on the roster last year, whether it's Sam or some of the guys who are on the roster this year. Are there certain goals or growth, processes that you want to see them go through this week?
Yeah, when you're preparing to go out to Summer League, you have a short time frame to kind of put everything together as a team, conceptually, both from an offensive standpoint and from a defensive standpoint. And the goal really is like, can we collectively, individually, and as a team put our best foot forward and go out there and try to accomplish something together? And within that framework, if everyone's pulling in the same direction, I think it helps them, it helps their careers, and if they can all go out there and accomplish something together.
Trevion Williams, what did you guys kind of see in him? What made you guys bring him in, and just what stands out about his game and how he could potentially help you guys this week or maybe beyond that?
Well, the first thing that stood out is his passing. Such a willing passer, vision. He can see the whole floor, and with his size and touch and feel. Was just really impressed with not only his willingness to pass, but his vision and ability to see the floor.
Then you mentioned, having a tight window to obviously, get things together before you guys fly to Vegas tomorrow. As head coach, how do you kind of hone in what is the biggest priority when you have just, a week here and a lot of obviously guys that haven't played together before? How do you try to, get everyone on the same page and moving one direction heading into the window?
Yeah, no, I mean, you kind of said it. It's like, if we can get everybody on one page is the starting point, right? Like if everyone can understand what we're trying to get done from a concept point defensively and offensively, and understand the framework that we're trying to play out of, if we can go out there to Vegas with that in mind, then I think we've, gotten off to a good start. And it starts with breaking stuff down, drilling it, working on it. They've been great working in the mornings, getting in extra work, group work. And it's been really cool to see the last few days, the progression offensively as they start to understand like where we want to go and how we want to get shots and create advantages. And, the first day compared to now, like how they're playing together has been really cool to see.
And another one on Trevion, just what do you think he needs to work on? What sort of things do you think he needs to develop in his game to make the leap from college to the next level?
I mean, with a lot of these guys coming right from college to NBA, the list is pretty long in terms of like what you need to start working on. But he has a lot of tools, a lot of attributes that are really impressive. And, he's really bought into just trying to do whatever it is that we've wanted him to do. And he's bought in defensively, he's bought in offensively, and he just needs to continue to work on the different aspects of the game in terms of, when he's playing the 4 or when he's playing the 5 or when he's guarding smaller players. Like there's just little things like that as he grows as a player that he's going to understand, like with his size and ability, what he can do.
Ben, are there things you want to get out of this week, like in this head coaching chair and, the rhythm of it and kind of having these responsibilities over these next few days?
I haven't really thought about it, but if I had to say anything, I just would really like to help facilitate a good experience for all the players and for all the staff, and go out there and make it enjoyable and competitive and fun, and, help them, put their best foot forward in their careers and just make an enjoyable experience for everybody.
Ben, your college bio said you were born in Boston.
Yeah, I was born in Boston.
Like, when did you move west? And like, it's weird that your path eventually led you back here.
Yeah, so my dad's side of the family is from out here, and I was born at, I think it was Brigham's Women's and Children's Hospital. I'm not 100% sure. I have to look at my birth certificate, but lived in Centerville until I was about 4. And then we moved out west, lived in Idaho for a year, and then spent the rest of the time in Oregon, growing up from like 5 or 6 on.
I think one of your first coaching bios said you were the 6th grade travel coach for Lake Oswego or something. Did you ever, just life comes at you fast. Did you ever think you'd be doing this? And now,
no,
where you are?
No, I didn't. It's I've talked about this a couple times. Like I never, when I was playing basketball, some people think like, I want to be a coach when I'm done, and they can kind of see that path and they understand it. It wasn't quite as clear for me. I didn't necessarily see that, but when I was done playing, my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, but I was working a regular job, and she suggested to me, she's like, why don't you try coaching? And I was like, okay. So I tried, and talked to my high school coach in Lake Oswego, and he sent me up to be the 6th grade boys coach. And I can still remember 5 minutes into the first practice, I was like, this is what I want to do. Like I loved it instantly. It was like, and then from that point on, when I was in that elementary school in Lake Oswego, I did not envision that it would lead to what it led to, but just, one foot in front of the other.
And last thing, what was your relationship with Ime? Where along the line did you cross paths with him, and how did it, all snowball from there?
Just in the Portland hoop scene. So like he was playing basketball, in the NBA and overseas. And when he would come back, the Portland hoops community is pretty tight knit. And when he would come back in the summer, like we knew a lot of the same people. We'd be at the same pickup runs, and, whether playing against them or with them, or, fighting with him on the court or whatever it was. I can't remember exactly how old I was, but I just remember like it was summer after summer, just being in the same, hoops type environment.
Coach, we have one Zoom question from John Corrales.
Well, now it's 2 because I want to hear about you fighting with Ime on the court. But the other question is just the challenge, if any, of having gone through this deep playoff run to turn around and pivot just a few weeks later. You go through the draft. Now you're assembling a team for Summer League. What's that scramble like to kind of get that and just turn to that next phase?
Are you asking like for me individually?
Well, I mean, you're for the whole team, because I mean, you're part of the planning for all of this.
Yeah. I mean, if you go on a longer playoff run, it's always a shorter summer, and definitely a tighter window to try to get everything done. But those are good problems to have if you're able to go that far and have a shorter summer. So we'll take it. But it's not always easy, but there's less time to do it. But jumping from the draft to the Summer League to the next thing, I mean, that's kind of the life we live.
Wrap it up right there. Thank you, Coach.
Oh, and fighting with Ime, it was a short fight, and I'll let you guys figure out who won.
Thank you, Coach.